Simon here from Empirical Health, just continuing on the discussion about Gui Zhi and cinnamon cassia. So the cassia tree, as it's been growing for about 2 or 3 years, it is cut at the base of the plant, which is called coppicing. And from that cut section, many shoots emanate outwards. Those shoots, after a few years, are selected, depending on their size, to be used for cinnamon. So the selection criteria is between 1.2 centimeters and 5 centimeters in diameter. Anything smaller than that, so anything smaller than 1.2 centimeters, is basically chopped up and used as mulch. Anything above 5 centimeters is used to extract the essential oils, because the thicker the bark, the more essential oil content it has, because that's where it resides, in the bark. After those, when branch reaches that selection criteria, it's cut off, and then the outer bark is sort of scraped off with a knife. Okay. Then as it exposed the second section, it is then used. There's a brass rod that kind of rub up and down that loosens the bark from the twig itself. And then what happens is they cut about 30 centimeter lengths along the branch, and then slice down the slice and peel off the bark, as you can see with something like this. So here's the outer bark, okay, there's the inner bark, and then obviously the inside has been taken off. This is from quite a large cassia tree from Vietnam. But you can see it's a good example there. And so what you're exposing is the center of the bark. And this is where all the really volatile oils are. This is the therapeutic component. This is where everything is in this part of the section. So it used to kind of be called Gui Zhi, like the heart of Gui. And you know, this technique of peeling has been going on for centuries and centuries. You know, in fact, people who in India, families, or in Vietnam, families who grow cinnamon, they're actually referred to as cinnamon peelers, because that's all they do. They just spend their time peeling cinnamon. So it's interesting when we relate it back to the Shanhan concept and Zhang Zhongjing's note of removing the peel and QP. So even in Western medicine, in English, the word cassia, the botanical word cassia, I mean the Latin word, it is borrowed from a Hebrew term, katsa, so Q-A-T-S-A, and katsa is cassia, and katsa in Hebrew means to strip off the bark. So there's a very long history of this being the way that you prepare cinnamon. So you know, nowadays in China, many of the southern traders are concerned about the farming practices that go on in places like Guangxi, for example, because there is some ideas that the oils are sort of extracted from that before the product is available on the herb market internationally. So if you're taking the essential oil out of the thing, there's not really that much therapeutic component left. So there's a few guidelines that can help you to identify what good cassia is and what good Gui Zhi is. So one is that it is cassia, so it's not one of the other species, of course. The second is that it's very fragrant, and it has a lot of aromatic oils still in it, which means they haven't been extracted. So you've actually got that therapeutic compound which you paid for and you need to use. Of course, the outer bark has been removed, and the inner twig has also been removed. So all you're actually left with is the therapeutic medicinal substance. So I'll continue this in part 3, and I'll go over the various quality discernment issues that we're faced with today.